Hello everyone and welcome to More Math with Miss Pellegrino. In this video, we're going to be taking our knowledge of multi-digit multiplication and extending it into the realm of decimals. In this video, we're going to be talking about multiplying and dividing decimals with powers of 10. By the end, you'll see why dividing is in there as well. So let's take a look at how we would do this. First, I want to start with a little bit of review. Think back to our place value chart like this one here. We have discussed in the past how each place in the place value chart is 10 times greater than the place to its right. It takes 10 ones to make one 10. Similarly, to go from the tens to the hundreds, it takes 10 tens to make 100. And you can continue this pattern all the way up. This also works for decimals, which we added on more recently. In my decimal places, I have tenths, hundredths, and thousandths, but they work the same way. To make a 1 out of tenths, it would take me 10 tenths. So to summarize, each place is 10 times greater than the place to its right. This is going to come in handy during today's lesson, so keep this idea in mind. Here's my first example problem, 400 times 10. Now you're probably already thinking the answer to this. We've learned in the past that anytime you multiply by 10, there's a pattern that goes with that. Multiplying by 10, we can just add one more zero to whatever our first factor is. We say, well, 400 times 10 is 4,000. The reason this works is because of our place value. We started with 400, so that means we had a 4 in the hundreds place. When I multiply by 10, I know from my knowledge of place value that to multiply by 10 on the place value chart, I need to go up one place. So I'm moving that 4 up one place to my thousandths place. And then I'll put a 0 in my hundreds to hold the spot. So in order to go and multiply by 10 using your place value chart, we just moved that digit up one place. This works in problems with decimals as well. So for example here, I have 0.4 times 10. Well, 0.4 means I have a 4 in the tenths place. And multiplying it by 10, well, if I tried the zero trick I discussed in the last slide, if I tried 0.4 and we just added a 0 onto the end, well, we haven't actually done anything. 0.4 or 4 tenths is the same thing as 0.40. 4 tenths and 40 hundredths are the same thing. So that didn't actually get me the answer I was wanting. So we can get rid of that. And let's look at this with a place value chart instead. So looking at it with my place value chart, I see that my 4 is in the tenths place. To multiply it by 10, I want to move that 4 up one place in the place value chart. Because remember, anytime you move up one place on the place value chart, you're multiplying by 10. So let's move that 4 up one place and put it in the ones instead. And now my answer is 4. All we did is move our digit up one place in the place value chart, and that's the same as multiplying by 10. Let's look at a similar example. Here I have 4 tenths again, but this time I'm going to multiply it by 100. So I know that 100 is the same as 10 times 10. So we can use that. Let me put parentheses around there for you. There we go. We can use that in our place value chart as well. I know if I were to move that 4 up one place in the place value chart, I'd be multiplying it by 10. So if I moved my 4 to the ones place, I've multiplied by 10. Now they want 100 here, so I'm going to have to move it up again and move it up one more place. So now I'm going to put my 4 in my tens place. Now I have 4 tens, or 40. All I did here is move it up 2 places in the place value chart, because every time I move up one place, I'm multiplying by 10. By moving up 2 places, I've multiplied by 10 and then by 10 again. 10 times 10 is 100. So 4/10 times 100 is 40. I want you guys to look at this example and try it out on your own. So I'm going to have you pause this video in just a moment to think about, well, if I had 0.75 or 75 hundredths, how would I multiply it by 10? Think back to what we did in the last example. Go ahead and pause the video here and think about it for a moment. You got it? All right, everyone, let's take a look and see if you got it correct. So in this problem, I'm multiplying by 10, meaning everything needs to move up one place in the place value chart. So to multiply these 7/10 by 10, I'm going to move those 7 into my ones place. So now I've multiplied 7/10 by 10, but I still have these 5 hundredths. So to move that 5 hundredths, I'm going to say, well, 5 hundredths times 10 means I move it up one place in the place value chart. So now that 5 is going to be in the tenths place. So let's make sure we've got that 7 gone. We'll put our 5 there instead. So my answer is 7 ones and 5 tenths, or 7.5. Let's take a look at how this works with division now. Dividing by tens will work almost the same way. Here, we have a problem that asks us to divide by 10. Now, we should remember that division and multiplication are inverse operations, so they're kind of opposites. In this problem, I'm starting with 4,000. So I'm going to put 4 in my thousands place and go ahead and fill in my zeros. And I'm dividing by 10. Well, if moving up in the place value chart means I'm multiplying by 10, to divide by 10, I would want to do the opposite and move down the place value chart. So to divide by 10, I'm going to take this 4 and move it down one place in the chart. And so it'll be in the hundredths place instead. So dividing 4,000 by 10 will leave me with 400. All I did is move my 4 down one place in the place value chart. Now, just like multiplication, this does work with decimals as well. If I have 4 divided by 10, I'm starting with 4 ones, and I'm dividing it by 10. So again, I'm going to want to move down the place value chart because I'm dividing. So I'd say, okay, well, 4 divided by 10, we'll move it down one place into the tenths. So I'm moving this 4, putting it in my tenths place instead. I now have 0, 1, so I'll put a 0 here to hold that spot. Now I have 0.4 or 4/10. So to summarize, if you're multiplying by 10, you want to move one place to the left on your place value chart. If you're dividing by 10, you'll want to move one place to the right on your place value chart. If you're multiplying or dividing by hundredths or thousands, you'll want to think about how many places to move. So for example, 100 is the same as 2 tens because we have 2 zeros, so that would be 2 places. Go ahead and try some of the examples that I've attached for this. Good luck, and we'll see you next time.